Let's begin right here in New York City, the greatest city in the world. It's changing its pronouns.
The iconic I Love New York logo is getting a makeover. The new campaign, We Love New York City, launched by officials to help the city rebound from the pandemic. Designers keeping the big red heart, but switching up the font a little bit. Mayor Adams and Governor Hochul on hand in Times Square to unveil the new logo with the help of Broadway stars and community leaders.
No one will ever beat New Yorkers down. And we took the I out of I Love New York, and we brought the we. We're in this together.
That's right. It's not I anymore, it's we, as in we can't afford rent. Or we just got pushed in front of the subway. Or we just pushed someone in front of the subway. But if you're wondering how they got this incredible new slogan, I actually have some of the runners up here. Let's see. Some of the other options were We Love Jew York. Okay. Jew York, Jew York. Start spreading the Jews. And then they told Kanye to leave the meeting, and that's when they settled on We Love New York City. Now let's move on to a story that's very sad for those of us who love Fox News, because it turns out that a producer for Tucker Carlson is suing the network, saying that the network pressured her to lie in the Dominion voting machines lawsuit. And I actually wasn't surprised about this at all, because all the way back 20 years ago, I wrote a book about Fox News called Lies and the Lying Liars Who Tell Them. Lies and the Lying Liars Who Tell Them, a fair and balanced look at the right. And in fact, I wanted to treat you guys tonight. So look, all of you, look under your seats, and you'll find directions to a local bookstore where you can buy Lies for $29.99. Okay, let's move on to international news. This week, Vladimir Putin is hosting Chinese President Xi Jinping for a 3-day summit in Moscow, and a lot of people are upset with Xi for cozying up to Putin after he's become an international pariah. But you know what? I think that that is exactly the time when you really find out who your friends are. We should all be so lucky to have a friend like President Xi, who doesn't judge us for every little crime against humanity. In other overseas news, there was a big win for workers in France, who will now get to work longer than ever. Despite weeks of protests from lazy French people who wanted to keep the retirement age at 62, the government has now raised the age at which workers can retire with a pension to 64. And this is terrible news, because it's leading to a revolution in France. And last time that happened, we all had to listen to Russell Crowe sing show tunes. So fix this right now, France. And I'm sorry, but I have no patience for people who need to stop working in their early 60s. I'm 71, and I'm working. And I haven't lost a step, beat. I'm as sharp as I was when I started on Saturday Night Live. I haven't lost a step since then, and that was back in 1975. Nearly 40 Decades. But let's get to the story today that makes... Let's get to the story today that makes all the other stories kind of pointless. According to the UN, we're all going to die.
Just into CNN, a dire warning about the state of the planet. A new UN report warns the climate time bomb is ticking and the world is running out of time to avoid catastrophe.
This report tells us we need a quantum leap in climate action, and every country in the world has to reduce emissions at warp speed to try to curb the warming of our planet. We are nowhere close to making that Paris Agreement goal of curbing warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius from pre-industrial levels. To accomplish all of it, developed and the richest nations in the world would need to reach net zero by 2040. That is going to be nearly impossible.
Wow, that's awful. But I guess a shout out to my baby boomers. Feels like we got the last chopper out of Saigon, doesn't it? And that's a reference we baby boomers understand. Now, part of the problem is the UN's expectation of collective action. It's just easy to shirk your part when everybody has to chip in. So the solution here is to call out people individually. The next UN report shouldn't say, we all must lower our emissions. It should say, Gary, stop driving your car so much. You don't need to visit your wife's grave every day. She's not keeping track. The fact is, on our current path, we're in for a grim future. And find out just how grim, let's go to the future to talk to Desi Lydic.
Hi, Al. Yes, I am reporting from the year 2075. Can you believe it? This face is 93. Take that, Paul Rudd.
Desi, I'm afraid to ask, but how is the climate crisis going 60 years from now?
Climate crisis? Oh, we solved that years ago. Look, the entire world looks like a Lisa Frank folder.
Hold on, we fixed climate change? How did that happen?
Well, it started when the UN issued its report on March 20th, 2023, warning that we had to radically reduce carbon emissions by 2040. So we read the report and we made all the changes and saved the world. Back to you, Al.
Wait, Desi, you're talking about the report from yesterday?
Yeah, it laid out exactly what we needed to do, so everyone just came together and did it. Why wouldn't we?
Well, wasn't doing all that really expensive?
Oh, yeah, it definitely was. But the alternative was the destruction of the planet. So, of course, we just spent the money, obviously. Back to you, Al.
I can't believe it. Everything sounds so great in the future.
Oh, it sure is. Oh, hi, little guy.
A grassland sparrow? I thought those were going extinct.
Oh, they were, but we turned it around. We reforested the Amazon. We got all the plastic out of the ocean and upcycled it into friendship bracelets that we all wear unironically. Plus, all the children in the world joined hands and sang in a harmony so beautiful it ended war forever.
Wow, holy crap. Really? All that happened?
Oh my God, no! You dum-dum! I'm being sarcastic. You think that for some reason we're gonna suddenly start listening to UN climate reports? No. Al, I'm not from the future. This is all fake. I am literally in the same room as you right now. I'm so stupid. I just didn't realize that. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but we're just going to keep on driving forward expeditions and burning fossil fuels until the ocean swallows us whole.
Oh, well, I guess you're right, Desi. And, you know, that's our satirical point. If only satire had the power to change the future for the better.
Yeah. Well, Al, I mean, the good news is there's still a chance that our sharp-witted satire will inspire people to make the necessary changes to save our planet.
Wow, really?
No! Oh my God! I'm being sarcastic! Jesus Christ, were you really a senator?
Yes. Yes, I was. Desi Lydic, everyone.